Howdy Chunky, this is the Voice of Reason live from London, and so far I haven't been stabbed or had my watch or phone nicked. Tarkin's got it. We're here at the Savoy. Normally I nearly punched him there. Everybody knows I'm quite a fan of the Savoy, but today, unfortunately, I've landed at the Savoy Theatre, which is next door. They've got a show on called Burlesque, which is very nice because it's got a lot of ladies jigging and bobbing and dancing and, doing a bit of tassel turning. Is Burlesque any good, or is it just a PR exercise where they're going to use a lot of box ticking to sell a few tickets? I shall tell all next. Howdy Chunky, live from the West End. This is the Voice of Reason. It was little Bette Midler that said you've got sexy legs and great big knockers. Well, I've come to see Burlesque, which is the story of, a lady who wants to find a mother and in the meantime becomes a stripper. It can happen to us all. I worried, Tarquin, that Sikdik might force some of the burlesque dancers to wear a hijab or a burqa, but thank God he didn't. Instead, we did get to see their faces and gorgeous hair. This show is quite long. In fact, I grew a beard during the second act. But there's some nice things about this show, mainly that the lady strippers are ladies and quite attractive. This is the show that I wanted to see, because I was curious in Sikdik's capital whether we would put a load of, big bone ladies into the show so that it was diverse. Well, I can tell you, Burlesque actually is very good. It has very attractive ladies with sexy legs and tiny pert knockers. I mean, this isn't a Vegas showgirl show, but it is exceptional. The talent is remarkable, and although a little palatial in length, unlike my man sausage, it's got a lot to be desired. The show looks nice, beautifully lit, although the first act went a bit wrong during my matinee that I saw. Unfortunately, they forgot to walk on and they forgot to start singing. These things can happen in a show that goes on for what feels like 4.5 hours. What was extraordinary about this production is the person who seemed to get the most attention in the Burlesque show was a man with a penis intactus who waved his anus erectus at the audience, offering trap 2 to anyone who was passing by. He was rather impressive. I mean, you couldn't get a bus ticket between the cheeks of his arsehole, but why we needed him in a show of ladies burlesque is quite beyond me. That's where the box ticking comes in. The reality is, if you're looking for something sexy, if you're a man, you might want to come to this, and if you're a lady, you'd probably want to go to Magic Mike. What they've done with this is mixed a bit of the two. In fact, there's more nipplage from men in a show called Burlesque than there is titty from the ladies, so you ain't going to get any breasticles in this. In terms of talent, there's two women in this which are sensational. Orphée and Hope Dawes are two incredibly blonde and beautiful women who have voices like angels and steal the show by a mile. Terrific talent. As for the show itself, it's sort of made for the TikTok generation where everything snaps too quickly. I would chop about an hour out of this show. There's a lot of lovey-dovey stuff. It's a love story, basically, where a girl comes to find her mother, ends up a stripper, and falls in love. Basically, it's Mamma Mia with tits. The West End is heaving this evening. That'll probably be the crap food from all these restaurants. But the truth is, Burlesque got off to a very bad start. Unfortunately, they had to get their costumes from Primark because they weren't ready. And then somebody said they were bullying. Can you imagine, Tarquin? But we know the twirlies and lovies are a bit limp under the cap and in the wrist, so we can't really take them very seriously, as we know they will boo-hoo and play the victim. All I know is this is a very polished cast, and if they chopped it down to an hour, it would be a magnificent, world-class burlesque show. Unfortunately, the West End lovies stick in a load of script to get in the way and get on all of our nerves and distract from the lovely lady parts. The phone-in's on Wednesday and Sunday at 9, and my new book is out on September the 6th. Yes, my little invasion into His Majesty's prison service. You can read my autobiography, where I've done 20 years of this, reviewing theatre and becoming the most unpopular and hated critic in the West End. Why? Because I tell the truth. That's it from me, Alex Belfield, live from the West End in London, enjoying Burlesque. Do pop and see it if you get a chance. It's not depressing, and let's face it, in this London, that's a miracle.